If you're looking for help fixing your Ford automobile, look no further. Our comprehensive Ford automobile repair guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and maybe show you how to repair your vehicle. Ford manufactures cars that owners have come to trust. Even a trustworthy auto requires occasional maintenance or repair. However, if you're in need of Ford auto repair from experienced professionals, your local auto helper can help. Noisy engine. A normal engine should be quiet. However, if you notice that your engine is producing a splattering, knocking, or rattling sound, it could be a signal for trouble. A car engine has high oil pressure, making sure there is no metal-to-metal parts against each other in the engine. A car that is worn or does not follow the required maintenances may start to make many noises from the engine when running. This is absolutely not a car you want to buy because it can result in very high repair costs. It can absolutely also be a cheap part causing the engine noise. But it is not worth the risk. Bad wheel bearings. Bad wheel bearings are a common issue in modern cars. You can hear a wheel bearing when you are driving at higher speeds. You will identify a bad wheel bearing by listening to the road sound while turning slowly left or right. If the noise changes, you do for sure have a bad wheel bearing. Smoke from the exhaust. A functioning car produces some smoke in terms of exhaust gases. This is often colorless unless when you are starting your car during winter. However, excessive smoke is a signal of serious engine trouble. The color and smell of the smoke will offer clues as to what is wrong. If the smoke is white in color, then it may be your coolant that could be leaking. While if you have thick blue-colored smoke, it could be oil getting into the combustion chambers. If it is black, it can mean that the engine is running too rich in fuel. Poor fuel efficiency. Poorly serviced engines consume more fuel. Mass airflow sensors, fuel filters, air filters, and O2 sensors all contribute to efficient fuel usage. However, with time these components become clogged with dirt, forcing them to produce more fuel. Routine servicing of these components will restore your car engine to good working condition. Tire punctures. It is common to experience occasional tire punctures. Tires do wear out, and when this happens, they are more prone to punctures. It is recommended that you avoid driving the car beyond the recommended tread wear. It's recommended to have all your tires changed after every 50,000 miles. You can also rotate them after every 10,000 miles in the worst case. Bad car battery. The battery powers the car engine together with the alternator. However, with time the terminals get contaminated with acid, and the battery no longer powers electrical components in the car. Just like your tires, you need to change your battery after every 5 years or 50,000 miles. Whichever comes first. It can be stressful operating with a dead battery because the car can stall at any time. Some of the signs of a dead battery include dim headlights, inability to power the stereo or AC, and problems starting the car in the morning. If the battery is working fine, then the problem could be with the alternator. Worn-out brake pads. It is dangerous to drive a car with worn-out brake pads. The brake pads wear out due to constant friction. When they wear out, you will often notice a squeaking sound. Besides, you will need to hard press the brakes for them to be effective. This can be disastrous during emergency braking. Have your mechanic inspect your brake pads if you suspect that there is something wrong with them. Faulty starter motor. The starter motor and battery work together to crank the engine. However, certain starter components can stop working due to wear and tear. These include the starter relay, solenoid, and motor. When this happens, you will hear a rattling sound whenever you turn on the ignition and start the car. Starter motors are quite expensive and, unfortunately, something that needs to get replaced sometimes. A starter often holds up around 10 years. Though, depending on the car model and how often you start the car.